All right, thank you, folks. We are back here at Redbird Arena. Mike Lederman and Yvonne Simmons. We are now awaiting if we can be any more, have a game any more exciting than our first one. Chicago Marshall, the Public League champs, the perennial Public League champs against the Loyola Academy Ramblers. What do you look for in this one?
You're looking at another fast-paced game. Loyola is really going to try and be really disciplined and run their offense and be patient, but Marshall, I tell you, they have great defense, and they're going to be pushing up the floor.
Marshall is run, run, run. Loyola can run, but they have a set offense that they like to use, and we will be seeing some outstanding players. Meanwhile, let's go pick up the starting lineups. Once again, here's the public address announcer, Jeff Fretzel.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starting lineups for the second semifinal game of the 1997 IHSA Girls Class AA State Championship. First for the Loyola Academy Ramblers, who enter the game with a record of 29-2. Number 3, a 5'8" sophomore, Laura Sobieschek. For Chicago Marshall, with Gingers a game with a record of 25-5, a 5'7" junior, number 10, Sabrina Minter. Next for Loyola Academy, a 5'8" senior, number 11, Kristen Santa. And for Marshall, a 5'9" senior, number 12, Christina Evans. For Loyola, number 12, a 5'9" junior, Jeanette Pockert. And for Marshall, a 5'5" sophomore, number 21, Kimya Murray. For Loyola, a 6'1" sophomore, number 22, Elizabeth Fletcher. Next for Marshall, a 6' sophomore, number 33, Courtney Walton. For Loyola, a 6'1" sophomore, number 24, Olga Gwizdanovich. And for Marshall, a 5'8" senior, number 34, Latrice Ray. The Loyola Academy Ramblers are coached by Tanya Johnson in her 13th year with a career record of 280.
Taking a look at our country company's starting lineups. For Loyola, they are dominated by sophomores. They start 3 of them. The point guard is Sobieschek, Santa, the only senior, Parker Gwizdanovich, and Elizabeth Fletcher, who's coming off a bad ankle. Meanwhile, for Marshall, as we take a look at Tanya Johnson's huddle, there is Dorothy Gators, the dean of coaches in the Chicago area, if not the state of Illinois. She will start her lineup of Sabrina Minter at the point, Christine Evans, Kimya Murray, Courtney Walton, a fine sophomore, and Latrice Ray, the other forward. And there is the back of Dorothy Gators.
She's really been a fixture in this tournament, too.
She's been here a lot, 6 titles. Let's go to Eric Collins.
Mike, a lot of people here along press row seem to think this is Loyola Academy's year to win it all. Now, not only are they 29-2, but they also have a fine pedigree. They're the highest-ranked team remaining in this tournament, ranked 13th nationally by USA Today. Not only that, but they're the ones who knocked off defending champion Stevenson. So not a bad resume. But then again, I make a point of never betting against Dorothy Gators. Mike, back to you.
Well, you're taking a look at our officials, Terry Ayers and Tom Baba. And they better be in shape, you know. Leonard Sanford and Pamela Young in the first game, boy, that was something else. We just took a look at Baba and Ayers. They had to do a lot of running, and we figure it's going to be much the same thing here, especially on the Marshall side. They know one tempo, and that's up.
And that is true. And I think the one thing Marshall's going to do, though, they're going to put on a press. They put on the press not to get steals necessarily, but really to mess up the rhythm of the opposing team.
Marshall in the gold with maroon, and Loyola in the maroon with the gold as Sabrina Minter comes right off and scores. right away. Sabrina Minter, the feisty point guard. We're going to be seeing a lot of her. She is water bug quick.
Feisty is right, Mike, and you take a look at her here. She's going to get the ball. She will drive, and she will put the ball up. There is no passing it off here unless she is really double or triple teamed, and you are extremely open. But she gets on the free throw line an awful lot for this ball club.
Foul is on Laura Sobieschek, the sophomore point guard, and here's Sabrina Minter completing the three-point play. So Marshall, right off the opening, has got a three-point lead, and they go to the full court trap press. Sobieschek, the key to breaking this. There she is, number 3. Jeanette Parker, the junior, number 12. Olga Grzdanovic, a sophomore, and there is Kristen Santa, the only senior missing the 3. Sabrina Minter with the rebound, looking down court for Kimia Murray, but pass intercepted, and we get a whistle. Violation going. Ball to Marshall. Latrice Ray does a lot of the dirty work. Strong forward. Here is the sophomore, Courtney Walton, missing the 3. Walton is 5'11", but she'll play more outside than in.
And she's very comfortable on the perimeter, leads the team in three-point shots.
Ball deflected nicely by Murray, and once again a turnover. Here's Minter. She'll take it all the way.
Sabrina Minter.
Minter starting off really early yesterday. She missed a few shots before she got hot, so it's good for Marshall that she started off quick.
Back it comes to Kristen Santa, all-state player. They force the ball in the post, and again a turnover.
And this is a very good matchup for Marshall. They're able to play against Olga in the middle and matching the height.
Coming through, and we get the whistle before the basket, scored by number 12, Christina Evans. So the basket will not count. We get the push-off. And Santa commits her first foul. Then all Marshall so far. 6:45 to go here. Barely a minute in. Sabrina Minter.
So far early, Mike, I think we've seen Marshall really take their time and run their offense and doing a nice job, not the helter-skelter pace that we saw yesterday.
Well, right now it's Sabrina 7. Everybody else, nothing. Santa for 3. And a foul underneath. As the players go for the rebound, Sobieschek along with Christina Evans. And Evans will commit the foul. At this point, you can really feel a much calmer attitude here. There are not as many people. And that means things may be a little bit less frenetic. Sobieschek missing the 3.
Marshall's really going to let Loyola beat them from the outside.
Murray, Minter. Well, barely a minute 45 in. Marshall with a big 9-point lead, and Loyola can't seem to get it out of its own way. Once again, a steal of Latrice Ray. Murray.
Offensive.
And they're going to call the offensive foul on Kim Murray. As Parker went down, she really took one for the club right there. Jeanette Parker, tough kid.
Yeah, really stood her ground there. As you see Murray coming very strong in the open court with the handle. She's the point guard. Nice job of keeping your strength, keeping your feet there, and taking the offensive charge.
Loyola, not a team known to panic, but they are down early and down big, 9-0. Santa on the cross court. This is Parker trying to move through. Marshall with the zone.
Trying to penetrate the seams of the zone.
Santa again, and she gets it. Kristen Santa shoots 40% from there, and she breaks the ice for Loyola with 5:25 to go. And quickly a turnover for Marshall.
And Loyola is getting back on defense, but what they're doing is they're settling back there, and they're not really attacking. And they're being the reactor instead of being the aggressor on defense and making Marshall make decisions. Marshall is really getting the tempo right now.
2.5 minutes without a basket for Loyola. Now they come in to Grzdanovic and Parker to follow.
Good look and even better weak side rebound. Olga cannot be afraid of the blocks coming over. She's just going to have to keep her composure and take the shot.
Grzdanovic, a sophomore. She's 6'1", excellent post player. But
Very
she
nice.
was lit up by Norma West for 31 points. From Amanda Jones yesterday in the quarterfinals, so she's got to toughen up on the D.
And I think that's why Loyola is coming out in a zone.
Three-pointer by Kimia Murray. First basket for Murray, and it's 12-5, 7-point lead. As again, we expected a quick pace, and we're getting it. Santa, who's been not hesitant to shoot, she's got it.
Now, when Santa gets the basketball, she's going to have to do a ball fake because they're going to come out on her, and then you can kick it right back in on the inside.
Kristen Santa, the only senior we mentioned. It's a field goal situation. We got a whistle inside as Courtney Walt tries to make a move, and the foul's on Elizabeth Fletcher. Fletcher, the other 6'1" sophomore post player for Loyola.
And Fletcher is still injured. You've seen her run up the floor. She's running a little bit gingerly, so she's not totally recovered from that ankle injury.
Sprained it against Maine West. She's been back for this. Right now, we'll take a break. It's a 4-point lead for Marshall. There they are, the John Marshall High School cheerleaders, and they put on quite a show for the fans at halftime. Meanwhile, their team is putting on a nice show for everybody right now. 12-8, they ran out to a 9-0 lead. Loyola has come back, and there is Sabrina Minter. Yesterday, 18 points in the quarterfinal, 6 for 12 from the field, and she had the ball most of the time. There she is.
But I really like what Marshall's doing. They're setting up their offense, and they're getting shots, good looks at the basket, and they're taking advantage of Loyola in penetration and kicking back out and just taking shots and running their plays.
Totally different game that Marshall's playing from the quarterfinal. There's Courtney Walt from 3. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Yolanda.
Oh, she stepped over the line. She had control of the basketball and stepped over the line.
And Courtney Walton at 5'11" is the leading 3-point shooter for Marshall, and she will take the ball out underneath their own basket, leading 15-8. 3:55 to go. First quarter. See, both teams are on from 3-point land. Marshall 2 out of 3. Evans.
And you're going to have to expose that because Olga's coming out there on the wing, and Fletcher's coming over to try and deny on the baseline for the post. And she has that bad ankle, so you're going to have to take it right at her and make her play defense.
Sobieszczyk has the ball deflected right in front of us. Still Loyola ball. 3:32 to go, and again the 9-point lead. Jeanette Parker right in front of us to inbound.
Loyola right now doesn't seem like they have a lot of emotion, like they're not very intense.
Here's Parker, long 2. Jeanette Parker averages 8.5. She's got 4. Brings them within 7, and almost a steal by Sobieszczyk. Here is Minter. Walton likes to be out by that line. Latrice Ray does a lot of that dirty board work underneath. And a 3-point ball for Kimia Murray. Her second. She's got 6. And the lead is now 10. Marshall with the half-court trap. Loyola's got a problem. Elizabeth Fletcher, the release. Here's Sobieszczyk. She's been quiet so far. Once again, Kristen Santa. She's got 3 threes.
Definitely the outside shooters right now for Loyola. They've got the hot hand there. Hopefully it's going to release that inside there for them.
Sabrina Minter out of control on that one. Here is Santa one-on-one with Courtney Walton. And Walton blocks the left hand. Santa at 5'8". Walton at 5'11", didn't go for the hand switch right here.
And that is just timing right there also by Walton, because she does not use her body at all to commit the foul. She just goes over, uses her long arms, and blocks the shot.
(20-13). Loyola trails into the post. Grozdanovich, and she is fouled. Wanda Burris had just come into the game. She was in the vicinity. Let's see who the foul's on. It's on Courtney Walton for Walton, her first. Here is Olga Grozdanovich, 6'1" sophomore. 22 points against Maine West. Good solid player, especially for someone so young. And a tall player. As you look at Tanya Johnson.
A lot of the girls on Tanya's team have played with AAU, and that has allowed them to play during the summer and play out under a lot of different experiences. They've won national championships, so they've been under the gun a lot, and they're a lot more mature now at a younger age.
Walton, a wild shot again. Loyola with the rebound. Laura Sobieschek. They swing it across to pocket and inside to Olga. Grozdanovich. Olga Grozdanovich. Again, the left hand, and they entered the ball well into the low post. Under 2 minutes to go. It's now a 3-point ball game. 7 points in a row scored by Loyola.
Loyola getting back on defense, making Marshall set up their offense and doing a very nice job of stopping the transition. And now they're working a little bit better on defensively and cutting off that penetration, although that time they let Minter get through.
Well, she tried to go through the entire zone. Couldn't do it, and we get the call, Loyola ball. There's Sabrina Minter. Her brother Ronald plays for Northern Illinois. We've seen him on Sports Channel quite a bit during his Husky career. Of course, he went to King High School as a high school student. 1:25 to go. Loyola could get within 2 or tie with a basket here. Marshall's had the lead all game long. Santa the drive in. Underneath. Latrice Ray. Walton, a long pass to Minter, 1-on-2. Now we get the offensive foul on Sabrina Minter, and that's what Dorothy Gators was talking to us about yesterday. Sabrina Minter has this tendency to be out of control, and Dorothy sort of bites her lip and knows that she's eventually going to bring it back.
Minter really did not have the advantage here. There was 2 Loyola players that are down here on the floor, and one of them has a good defensive stance there, so you're going to have to be careful, pull it back out, set things up. You've been doing a good job in your half court. Continue playing that way.
Under a minute to go. Again into the post.
Grozdanovich does really nice work on that block there. What I like is when she gets the entry pass, she turns around, has a great angle to get the shot up.
6 points for Olga Grozdanovich. 1-point ball game. Burris, long 2. Luanda Burris averages 4, comes in off the bench and gets a bucket.
Yesterday's game, there seemed like there were no outside shots for Marshall, so I like to see this, that they have another dimension to them.
Ball movement by Loyola. Sobieschek gets it to Santa.
Incredible. You leave her open, and I would think Marshall had learned their lesson. She's going to drop it.
A tremendously quick release.
Yeah.
And she's going to Drake, right? Your alma mater.
Hey, gotta love that. Drake's doing a really nice job, too. Won in their tournament.
We're tied at 22, and at the buzzer, Marshall does not get a shot away. So after a quick jump out by Marshall, Loyola has come back to tie. We played 1 quarter. It's 22 all.
I think March Madness represents a culmination of a lot of hard work on both the coaches and the players' part. And it's an exciting time. You know that one game and you're out, and it just adds to it. It's a great environment. This gives the fans an opportunity to come out and support their teams and to just to see good basketball. It may not be the team from your hometown or your city, but it's an opportunity to see some great talent.
On this week's Bull Sox Underground, we all know everyone's talking about baseball's dynamic duo. But what do Frank and Albert think of each other?
Albert's Albert. Albert's more, just leave him alone and just let him have his space. He's not looking for any attention. He just don't want to be bothered.
Plus, join host Tom Waddle as he learns the art of the 3 from the master and find out if Ozzie and company can survive the fitness test. Plus, much, much more. Bull Sox Underground, tomorrow night at 7. Underground.
Start of the second quarter at Redbird Arena, all tied at 22. Marshall jumped out to a 9-0 lead at the beginning. Loyola closed with a 10-2 run to end the first quarter, so we're tied 22. Loyola with the ball. This is Parker against the Marshall zone. That's number 25, Luanda Burris, and we get a push call, but it's going to go against Loyola.
Number 22, Elizabeth Fletcher.
And they're going to call Fletcher her second foul.
Re-entering the game for Marshall, number 10,
Sabrina Minter, who'd been out at the beginning of the quarter, comes right back in. Minter, high scorer with 9. High scorer for Marshall. Kristen Santa with 11. High scorer in the ball game. That's Burris. This is Minter. Loyola. Here they exclusively zone. Christina Evans, nice turnaround. Can't get the roll. Underneath the follow. And good effort by Marshall on the offensive glass.
And that's why Evans was in the ball game. Her primary responsibility is to go to the offensive glass and get her points through her putbacks. She's very solid on the inside. Can be a very explosive player and a very explosive rebounder.
Erin Monroe, number 4, is in for the Ramblers, replacing Fletcher with 2 fouls. Ball taken away in the post. Here's Sobieschek. Excellent ball handler.
Nice.
Look at the feed to Olga. 8 points for Grzdanovic on the feed from Sobieschek. Both teams shooting well above 50%. Minter. A long 2 for Murray. Christina Evans again. Good effort by Evans. Just can't get it to go down. 24-22. Loyola has come to take the lead.
Now Loyola being a little more attack-oriented to the basket. Before, they were kind of passing the ball around, taking their shots, but now they're in attack mode.
Burris looks for Minter, but throws it away.
And they're causing Marshall to make some mistakes by getting back on the defensive end, putting some pressure on them a little bit, making Marshall cut to the basket instead of just getting their shots, getting the ball and penetrate, making them cut to get the basketball, and that is making the difference right now.
Latrice Ray comes back in, number 34 from Marshall. Courtney Walton sits down with the 1 3-point basket.
Last night, Marshall had 27 turnovers.
Again, they enter the post, not this time. Grzdanovic, the offensive board. Saved nicely by Marshall's Ray. Yeah, they were committing turnover after turnover, but as Dorothy Gator said, when you up-tempo as much as we do, teams that run.
Check this stat out, though, against Morgan Park. They had 40 turnovers now. That's getting a little crazy. They won the ball game, but 40 turnovers.
Marshall's gone cold on the board. Nice crossover move by Santa. She goes down, the ball doesn't. And Santa takes it right away. Hello. Kristen, that almost looked like the Georgetown game where Freddie Brown threw the ball away, not knowing who was there. A 3-pointer, long missed by Sabrina Minter, and a foul underneath. Well, play getting a little ragged here as we get the foul on Christina Evans. Still a non-shooting foul. Under 6 minutes to go here. Loyola leads by 2. There's Courtney Walton. She is back. Walker gets a nice pick and roll, but taken away nicely by Ray. And that'll be Marshall ball. The Commandos have not scored in the last 3.5 minutes. There's about 5.5 to go here, as you see the count on the graphic. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. The pace has slowed. Both teams missing a lot of close-in shots.
Marshall setting up their play they call commando.
Flashing through the middle was Burris, and the ball thrown away again.
Again, the taller bodies for Loyola, making the offense really stretch for Marshall. That pass is going to be long. Kim is very short, so she's trying to throw it up over that zone, and she's having to jump, and it's just too long.
Now Loyola calls a play. Sobieschek looks back on the back door for Parker.
Good back door. Everybody's focused on who has the basketball. You got their heads turned, and that's when you make a play like that, when other things are going on with the side of the basketball.
26-22. And the 3-pointer by Kim Murray. It's her 3rd of the game. Kimia Murray breaks a 4-minute drought for Marshall. Brings them within 1. Semifinal action. Girls Class AA will bring you the finals tonight as Grzdanovic, the left-handed turnaround. She's got 10. Only 3 players have scored for Loyola, but they've got 28 points among them. 11 for Santa, 6 for Packard, 10 for Olga Grzdanovic. And Marshall slowing things down. until Minter gets it. And Sabrina Minter making a move, and she is fouled in the lane. Foul is number 4, Erin Monroe.
Again, we talk about Minter getting the basketball, trying to penetrate the seams of the zone. She's going to go up with it, although she has a player over there down on the baseline that's wide open. She's going to take the shot and get on the free throw line. And Burris was waiting for the ball and didn't get it.
Sabrina Minter, 65% from the line. Her 10th point. So 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Marshall has come back within 1, and there is Tanya Johnson. Both teams will huddle up in the timeout, and we'll take off and come back. Well, the defense rests. That's fine if you're in law, but not if you're playing basketball. Watch what happens here with Jeanette Paukert starting and ending this play.
This is execution at its best for Loyola as things are going on defensively. Marshall's turned, and Loyola does a nice job of getting the backdoor pass.
Both teams shooting 50%, but the pace is slowed down. Loyola with a 1-point lead. Marshall quickly with the takeaway. Nice play by Marshall. Courtney Walton coming in. Strong drive, gets the foul. And for Loyola, the foul is on Erin Monroe. Erin's second.
Murray getting out of trouble here. And it was a nice break down to the basket, good body control to get the shot off and to get her chance at the line.
Walton's got 4. Can give her team the lead.
Walton, as a sophomore, has that handle at 5'11", almost 6 feet tall. On that outside there, that's going to be great for a college game. Coaches love to see that you're that tall, you've got that great handle, and plus the 3-point shot.
Boy, there's a lot of talent on this floor. And a foul in the backcourt as Santa tries to get the ball up. And she is chopped by LaWanda Burris. For Burris, her first. Check it, it's on Sabrina Minter. It's her second. Non-shooting situation. Here is Laura Sobieschek, another sophomore, gets the screen and almost loses. This time, Kim Murray over pursues and fouls her second.
Marshall puts a lot of pressure on the basketball, and Loyola has got to protect it there. You're going to see that Marshall does dive for it, tries to get it once you turn your back and go from behind and flick it.
And there is a talented freshman, Shakia Sims, 5'6", averages about 5 points a game. But Dorothy Gators is bringing her in. And sitting down, Sabrina Minter. And Laura Sobieschek gets her first point.
Ladies, watch your arms, please. We're doing a good job. 1.
Both teams in a bonus situation now. All tied at 29. Sobieschek to untie. Loyola drops back on defense. Here comes Marshall, and Shakia Sims will run the attack. Two-three match zone used by Loyola. Burris. Long rebound goes out to Murray, and Sobieschek got a hand on the ball, but Marshall maintains control. Almost a leisurely pace to this game, you find, especially after
certainly different
the first game.
And from yesterday that we saw.
Tipped out, last touch, and the officials are conferring, so the ball will go to Loyola.
And again, that's going to be the advantage for Loyola because they're spread out so far, Marshall is, that those passes are going to have to be long, and Loyola is quick enough to recover, has those long arms. They can recover and tip the ball.
Marshall completely dominated Mother McCauley in the quarters. Bogdanovich missing here. Sobieschek back to Olga. Olga with Courtney Walton getting a hand on it, and again we get ball on the line. It'll go to Marshall. We're talking about how Marshall just absolutely blew Mother McCauley away with a pace that was absolutely frenetic.
And you got to wonder if McCauley is thinking about what changing strategy, if they should have changed it and slowed the game down instead of trying to run with them.
There are your turnovers. Marshall with 9. This is Sims, the freshman.
It's not a shot you want to take. Gators doesn't like that.
Didn't see the passing lane open, and now Loyola promptly returns the favor, throws it away, and the long two by Murray, no good, and the rebound fought for, and we'll get a whistle underneath. Foul is called. Looks like it'll go against Burris. They give it to Latrice Ray.
Again, you're allowing Marshall to push the ball and make mistakes on their own, making turnovers and not having good shots. There they take the shot there. Olga goes up nice and strong for the rebound, and they're tying her up to try and get the basketball.
Well, she was sandwiched by Murray and rather by Burris and Ray. And here's Grzdanovic. Point number 11. Dorothy Gators. 18 public league championships in 20 years.
I've personally gotten spanked by one of her teams.
Yes, you have. What was that? That was back
1985. I remember it well.
When you were at Wheaton. But you made the finals.
Yeah, but we got spanked.
And Walton fouled as she goes in. Paukert for Jeanette. That is her first.
Number 12, Jeanette Paukert. Her first personal.
Jeanette Paukert, the one junior in the starting five. Not a flashy player, but very, very important. The glue on this team, or part of that team. Here's Walton. Let's go to Eric Collins.
Mike, just to give you a little ditty about Dorothy Gators. In one of her 20 seasons, only once in 20 seasons at the helm of Marshall, have they lost 5 or more games. If they lose either this afternoon's game or later this evening, this will be your second worst record of all time. And they're actually down here in the state finals. Mike, back to you.
That's a bad record most people can live with. 32-31, Santa all the way.
Santa has a really nice handle in the open court, uses her body well, finds the basket. Defense in the way she just adjusts her game a little bit, adjusts her handle to make the basket.
3-point Loyola lead. Marshall with under 2 minutes to go here. Looking in for Ray. Nice turnaround. Latrice Ray gets her first bucket. LaDonna Barton, number 11, is in for Marshall. And good defense by the Commandos with Burris taking the ball.
And that's exactly what happens in a press. You stop the pass right underneath it and right to the side, deny that, make that long pass open for Loyola, and they can't see that usually, especially with the big players for Marshall.
Walton, and after she misses, Paukert comes in for the rebound and gets fouled. She will go to the line as both teams are in the bonus situation. Shakia Sims commits her first. And we're going to get another substitute here. Rhonda Grayer, 6'1" sophomore. She will go in for Courtney Walton. Grayer averages about 5 points and 5.5 rebounds a game. Here is Jeanette Paukert. And a whistle underneath. It looks like Sabrina Minter's got either back spasms or something, so she is down with the ice bag.
We'll send our man Eric on the job.
He's there. He's bringing more ice. Lane violation, and Paukert will get another. Couple of misses for Paukert. A minute 12, 1-point ball game. Wild shot by Bart. Underneath, travel called. That's a much tougher call in high school than it is. They don't let you get up. They don't let you, as soon as your feet hit the floor and spill out from under you, they'll call the walk.
A lot of those guards in college, and they fall down, they continue dribbling, and they're usually all right.
See the inside points. Loyola having the advantage there with Grzdanovic.
And I think they're going to need to look a little more inside as you see Olga with the seal right there.
And she gets fouled inside as the nice entry pass made by Erin Monroe.
She moves very well without the basketball.
Let's check in with Eric Collins, see what's going on there with Sabrina Minter.
Well, Mike, it seems that she got elbowed in the back. Just a minor injury. She's putting ice on there just as a precaution. If she needed to go back in, if Dorothy really wanted her to finish out the first half, she would be able, but I think they're just going to keep her out and save her for the second half. Is that good enough, Yvonne?
Hey, you're doing the job. Thank you.
Works for us, Eric. Krasnovic misses her first free throw out of 5 attempts. Numbers on her. 13 for Olga. Loyola by 2. 45 seconds to go, first half. Winner gets Taylorville in the finals tonight, the Class AA championships. We'll have that for you right here on Sports Channel. Under 30 seconds to go. Marshall setting up for, I want to say the last shot, but for a good shot. Barton, the senior, hasn't played that much. And she gets tied up. Possession arrow to Marshall.
Marshall trying to send guards through and hoping to draw some of the Loyola players a little bit so they could penetrate that zone and kick it out to somebody else, but it's just not working. Loyola staying true to their defense.
Shakia Sims with 10 seconds to go. There's the clock. There's the situation. 2-point ball game. Marshall trailing. Barton lets it go at the buzzer, followed up by Ray. It'll count if it goes. It did not. It will not. So that's the end of the first half. It has been a most interesting one. A lot different from what we had anticipated. But Loyola leads 35-33. Eric Collins will have a chat with Tanya Johnson as she comes off the floor. Meanwhile, Sabrina Minter is up and heading for the locker room. There is the Loyola team and Tanya Johnson to follow. So let's check in with Eric Collins.
Thanks, Mike. We are here with Tanya Johnson. Tanya, thanks for talking to us. How's the first half shaping up? Any surprises so far?
No, I'm really happy with the way the game's going. It's a good pace for us. I think we're getting the shots that we want. We've just got to box out a little bit better. We're going to talk about that. I think the 2-3 zone is probably what we're going to stay in because I don't think we want to get into a running game with them. So,
were there any worries when Marshall got up to such a good start with the three-pointers?
That's happened to us before. We got the little jitters out, so it's going to be a good second half.
Tanya, wish you all the best of luck.
Thanks.
Mike, send it back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Tanya Johnson, very cool, very composed. And we will take a break here, cool and composed. We'll rejoin you in just a few minutes. Loyola by 2 as we go to halftime.
Welcome back to the Sports Channel Report Studios. We're at the half right now. Loyola leading Marshall 35-33. And Danny, 2 separate halves in the first half. Marshall comes out strong, 9-zip. Loyola comes back, patient, outside game, inside game. They take a 2-point lead going into the break.
Right, and towards the end of the first half, you saw it got to be a little bit of a lower pace, a lot different than our first game that we watched today. You know, the score's a little bit lower. Loyola's playing really relaxed, really confident, not trying to move too quickly because it's hard to compete with a Marshall who moves so quick.
Exactly. Marshall up and down the court while Loyola a little more half court. Right now, both teams are shooting about 50%. We still have another half for you right here on Sports Channel. Keep it here because we've got some highlights from Game 1 for you coming up. Game 1 of those semifinals in Class AA. We're coming right back. And welcome back to halftime of the semifinals in Class AA. We're here at Sports Channel. I'm Dairo Joyner, and we've got a full day of action coming your way. Now, the winner of this game you're watching right now already knows who they'll be facing in tonight's game. That's because semifinal number 1 between Taylorville and Galesburg is already in the books. That's the game you saw earlier on Sports Channel, and this was the story. Allison Curtin, when she was not doing anything right, this is the only thing she did wrong, and the only reason she did it wrong was because the shot sounded after the buzzer. But she dominated here inside. Off glass, scores, and the foul. Taylorville led 42-40 at the half. Then Curtin would get in foul trouble, go to the bench. Galesburg rallied on a 9-0 run. Melanie Pendergrass hits the three. The Silver Streaks were up by 1, but Curtin came back off the bench and led a 15-8 run. Watch her battling inside for the lay, the cutter. She had 34 points as Taylorville wins it and move on to the final. 67-61 is the final there. Curtin, yet again, with 34 points, 15 of 23 from the floor. Miss Taylor, what do you think about that in the first game?
Well, it was a good game, but it really was. I mean, the numbers say Allison Curtin, but it was a team effort, and that was pretty obvious. Because when she did get into foul trouble, the team stood behind her. They kept them in the game so that she can come back in the later part of the half and then put it all on. But they held it in there when she was out for a while.
And right now they're resting for that championship game, which will be later tonight. We'll be seen right here on Sports Channel. We're going back out to Redburn Arena for the second half of Loyola and Marshall. The Ramblers leading right now 35-33 over the Commandos. Keep it right here on Sports Channel. We've got it all coming your way. The IHSA championships continue right here on Sports Channel throughout the day. We're at the half right now. Loyola leading Marshall 35-30. We're going to the second half. Let's go back down to normal. Enjoy the game. Mike Liederman and Yvonne Simmons have the call. Guys.
Thank you very much, Cyril Joyner. We are back, Loyola by 2, and let's quickly check the highlights because Marshall started out as though they were going to blow the Ramblers right off the floor, 9 straight.
They really were on fire, and it came from their defense. The steal here in Minter takes it coast to coast. Very strong in the open court, and she lays it in.
She had all 9 points in the first run. Meanwhile, Loyola came right back with a 10-2 run of its own. There's Kristen Santa.
Santa really opened things up in there for Olga to do some dirty work inside on the post.
Tied at 22 after the first quarter. Second quarter, the old back door to Jeanette Parker.
Great execution by Loyola.
Meanwhile, Marshall, not to be outdone, gets the 3-pointer from Kimia Murray.
Murray needs to set that up in the second half of this game.
Statistics, both teams were shooting well over 50%, but Marshall has tailed off some, and that really has been the difference in the second quarter.
I think the difference also has been with Santa breaking it out on the outside. They've really been able to get it into Olga on the inside, so Marshall's going to try and cut that out. Again, perimeter work for Loyola is going to have to do the job.
Let's go over to Eric Collins with Marshall coach Dorothy Gators.
Thanks, Mike. Dorothy, you've obviously been in this situation before. You're battle tested down here in the state finals. What do you say to your team in the locker room?
Well, basically, we've got to be more aggressive, especially on the defensive end. I think if we can do that, it'll carry over on offense, but we're just really very, very complacent on both ends.
All right, Dorothy, we wish you the best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Mike, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. After our Ameritech statistics, we will come back for second half action. Loyola leads it right now.
Exactly. He has every right to be upset on that one. The official just missed that call. They're human. That's going to happen. Steals, by the way, UIC, 7 steals in the first half. Butler with 1.
Shot clock at 20, game clock at 21, so about a 1-second differential here. UIC going to run it down. You see the game clock in your picture. On the penetration, John L. Sloan, and another offensive foul called against UIC. That's the 5th charge the Bulldogs have taken in this half.
And you got to take your head off the Butler for doing that, but you also have to say to your players, if you're Bob Hallberg, guys, we can't get out of control here.
5 seconds to go. Rogers leans in, shoots around, and good! What a bounce! Count the basket and a foul. Wow!
Bob Hallberg is saying that that was basket interference, and that a hand knocked that ball back in. Let's make the call here. There's Rogers. Ball goes up. Now, does a hand touch it for Butler?
No.
No, absolutely not.
Good look right there.
Great camera work.
How about Rogers off balance? That's a pretty bounce, too.
And sits. That's a heck of a shot. That one goes on the highlight reels.
With the three-point play. 2 seconds left. Harlan fires. It'll count if it goes just short. So the first half comes to a close. UIC in the lead, but Butler playing well over the last few minutes of the first half to cut into this Flames lead. It's 45-37 at the break. UIC leading Butler. Halftime festivities coming up. This is the MCC tournament on Sports Channel. UIC leading 45-37 here at halftime. David Kaplan standing by with the commissioner of the MCC, John LaCrone. David?
Thanks very much, Mark. And John, great first half of action here. The tournament's gone very well so far.
David really has. I mean, the Wright State people do an incredible job here, so we're real pleased so far.
Talk a little bit about Green Bay, because you can't root for one team over another, but privately, would you like to see Green Bay not win the tournament so you get 2 in, because they've got to be a lock already?
Well, you know, I think they are. I would like to root for a team, but I have to be impartial as badly as I might want to pull for one of our teams. Certainly Green Bay has had a season-long performance, which I believe earns them consideration for the tournament. So I think they're in pretty good shape right now.
Your role as commissioner, sometimes a Green Bay doesn't get ranked through part of the season, and obviously they're one of the top 15 or 20 teams in America. Do you pick up the phone and have to make phone calls, or do you stay out of that?
Not really. I mean, we try to do a little bit of lobbying, but I will tell you one thing about the NCAA tournament committee in basketball. I happen to be on the soccer committee, and I know how we operate. They do a phenomenal job. They have more information than you can believe on all of these teams, so they'll be very, very objective on their selection. So there's really not a whole lot we can do. The best thing Green Bay can do to guarantee their slot is to win the tournament.
Talk a little bit about March Madness, because the hype is great. Every team is on equal footing when this day began. They all could go to the field of 64.
It's really everybody's second season. I mean, when you look at Loyola, played a great game against Green Bay. They really had an opportunity to win this tournament and go into the NCAA tournament. So it's a great time of excitement for all of our coaches and our players, because no matter what you've done during the regular season, it all starts over with the conference tournaments.
Best of luck the rest of the way, and hope you get 3 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Thanks, Dave. We do too.
Thanks so much. We'll continue first half stats and highlights, and a look toward the second half when we continue on Sports Channel.
Back at the Nutter Center in Dayton, 45-37, UIC leading Butler. Halftime here, Mark Pinsky along with David Kaplan. And David, thus far the story has got to be three-point shooting. UIC 7 out of 11 from the arc.
Well, UIC getting good looks at the basket. They've really played a disciplined first half. Even though they're an up-tempo team, they've worked hard defensively, created some offense. They had 3 steal opportunities where they came up with the ball. Either you had a slip by Mark Miller.
Ready for second half action with Yvonne Simmons. I'm Mike Lederman. Bruce Kites, our statistician. Dave Turner, our producer director, and our crew in the truck. And coming in front of us to inbound the ball for Loyola, Jeanette Paukert and Laura Sobieschek, leading by 2 for the right to face Taylorville for the state title tonight. Loyola in the maroon and Marshall in the gold. Inside, Grozdanovich.
And that's going to happen all day if they keep those passes sharp and a little bit high, because Olga Grozdanovich has the height advantage.
15 points for Grozdanovich. And Sabrina Minter, who has suffered that elbow to the back, is back in, and she lofts one right away, high off the back rim. Here's the breakout. But Kristen Santa does not have the numbers, and you see Loyola pulling it back. We've got Erin Monroe in for Ellen Fletcher for the Ramblers. Sobieschek. There's Monroe coming through Santa. Kristen gets her own rebound, but Olga can't handle the bouncing low ball. Here's Minter, 1-on-3. It adds up.
Amazing her creativity when she's in the open court. She will nail it. She will knock it down. A big-time player has the handle.
Oh, back to a 2-point Loyola lead. And there's Donovich.
Does a very nice seal and then the drop step to the basket. Very solid on the post, in the post for Olga.
And Marshall quickly takes a timeout. 6:43 to go. We'll take one too. Dorothy Gators wants to discuss something very, very quickly. And we'll be back. Loyola by 4. Sabrina Minter, there are her numbers. 11 points on 4 of 7 field goal shooting. 3 from the line. As a matter of fact, Chicago Marshall didn't miss a free throw in 7 attempts. But they are missing their field goals. Their percentage has dropped under 40%. And they are trailing by 4. Walt looks into Latrice Ray. Did she call glass?
She did call glass. Quickly.
4 points for Latrice. And the lead back down to 2. This is Sobieschek, the sophomore point guard. Grzdanovich.
Good screen over for Grzdanovich to get her to the basketball, and then the nice entry pass into her.
They have gone to Olga 6 points worth here in the second half, and she gets the rebound. Quick pitch out. They've got to break if they hurry. Santa. And she is fouled underneath by Murray. Third foul on Kimia Murray. Kristen Santa always seemed to be under control. She had players filling the lanes on both sides, but she went through and drew the foul.
Different handle than Minter in the lane there in the open court, but same result. You go to the free throw line, you get your team back the basketball, or Santa has made the shot.
Back to live action. They try to go to Grzdanovich again, but that time the ball turns over. Minter 2-on-3. There goes Sabrina. And the rebound, Packard. Minter is so elusive. 1-on-3 isn't a disadvantage for her. Grzdanovich again. Doesn't get the roll this time. Good rebound, Christina Evans. Marshall setting up the offense. Santa, quick hands, almost made the steal. Once again, 3-point effort by Murray doesn't go. She'll try one more.
And that's a shooter, you know, because it doesn't matter if you miss the shot, you go for it again, you're open, you got to nail the shot. She gets a wide open 3.
4 baskets, all 3s for Kimia Murray. Game is down to a 1-point Loyola lead, 41-40. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter. And Grzdanovich gets fouled by Walton as Courtney Walton tried to move the baseline and just didn't move fast enough.
Grzdanovich does have that shot there from the 15-footer from the baseline. Decided to put the ball on the deck, but she can't shoot from out there. The long arms, possibly of Marshall, stopped her.
Murray comes out. Burris comes in for Marshall. And this is Latrice Payne, a 5'8" senior coming in, and Christina Evans will sit down. There's Sobieschek. She's the quarterback here, and Santa functions almost the same way.
Yeah, they really are interchangeable. Both of them a shooter. As
Laura misses. Grzdanovich, the rebound. And Grzdanovich has got her 4th basket of the second half. She's got 21 for the game. Sobieschek missing long.
Again, you're going for the offensive rebounding. Rebound, you keep it high, keep the ball high, go right back up with it. Marshall has ups. They can try and block the shot, and they're always going to try and do that. You either give them the ball fake and go back up, or just take it up strong and expect the foul.
Walton comes out, and Christine Evans comes right back. And you see Grzdanovich's numbers. They are making a concerted effort. Just feed the post, feed the post.
And that's really been Loyola's bread and butter this year. Grzdanovic has been the leading scorer in 10 games this season and been the leading rebounder in 18.
Marshall trying to force the ball through, and on the floor, tied up. It'll remain in the Commandos' possession. 44-40. Loyola, as we take a look at the possession clock, the arrow will now shift. Well, it's not a clock. Minter looking long for Evans. Loyola in that 2-3 zone. Tanya Johnson said they'd stay in it, and they have been. Minter the miss, follow up by Payne. And Grzdanovic with the rebound again. Paukert, Grzdanovic, the drop. No call on the contact. The ball's out of bounds, and what's happening here? Just it'll go over to Marshall.
And that's exactly what Marshall wanted to do. They put in that little half-court trap just to get Loyola out of their rhythm of passing the basketball.
4 minutes left here in the third quarter. 4-point lead for Loyola. Marshall with the ball. Both teams' colors, as you notice, maroon and gold.
Marshall's doing a much better job at moving the basketball, making Loyola shift on their zone.
And they're going to call Erin Monroe for her third foul.
And Marshall is sending a runner through on the baseline. As once the offensive player on the baseline gets the ball, it really extends the zone out, and they're able to operate a little more in the middle and also cut the guard through.
Monroe comes out, Elizabeth Fletcher comes in, and Marshall will inbound the ball. Only the first team foul on Loyola this quarter.
You've seen Santa back up a little bit when Minter got the basketball.
Burris high off the glass, doesn't get it. Evans the offensive rebound. And Christina Evans, good job. She's got basket in each half. That's the Ramblers' lead to 2. Loyola very deliberate offensively as Grzdanovic flashes high, and Fletcher down low as they bring Fletcher back in. The ball last touched by Marshall's Evans.
When we talked to Tanya yesterday, she really talked about how her team needed to be disciplined with the basketball. So that means you are going to pass and catch. You're going to use ball fakes because Marshall likes to play very pressured defense and they can fly by you. You're going to take care of the basketball and execute on your offense, and I think they've done a really nice job of doing that.
Well, both teams have had some close calls to get here. Marshall, of course, in the city championship game defeated Whitney Young, but only by 5 points. And Loyola had to wrestle its way out of that very, very tough Evanston sectional where you had half a dozen ranked teams, including Maine West was in it, Glenbrook South. And to survive that, not to mention the defending champion Stevenson, albeit a team with, you know, not much of its firepower left from its championship years of last year and 2 years ago. So these are two teams that are well tested, not so much well rested, but they are very much veteran teams, even though a lot of underclassmen are there. You take a look at the field goal shooting. Loyola's has really gone up, while Marshall's has dropped steadily. They're shooting 1 and 3 right now.
And you really have to credit Loyola to continue with their game plan on defense, putting pressure on Marshall, also trying to stop their penetration. And if they do penetrate the zone there, they are really recovering and getting back when Marshall tries to get it back out to one of their perimeter players.
And there are somebody's children with the fine facial decorations. Loyola Sobieschek to inbound the set play. Ramblers by 2, 3:10 to go, third quarter. Kristen Santa.
They're being a little more aggressive on Olga Grzdanovic, kind of bumping her a little more as she's trying to set up on offense.
And here they go down to Olga, and again Marshall, quick hands. The official Ayers calls it travel, but Marshall, good defensive effort there.
You see how much of a height advantage there, especially on that, as you're looking at the camera at the television, how much height Olga really does have on this Marshall team. So they're going to really try and be physical with her as they're leaning on her as she's playing offense and trying to post up.
Courtney Walton, the tallest player for Marshall, not in the lineup right now. And they go down to Grzdanovic again.
You got to go to her. She has the advantage. She has a nice soft touch.
24 points for Grzdanovic. 8 steals for Marshall on the day. Here's Sabrina Minter coming through, missing just about everything. Santa. Good look underneath. And she is fouled by Latrice Payne. Boy, you saw a real difference in styles there, where Sabrina Minter took everything herself, tried to go through the whole defense. Meanwhile, having the fast break, Santa pulls it. There she is. She pulls the yo-yo string back, then looks for her teammate.
Really just a difference in style here, and that comes with leadership. Santa is a senior, Minter is a junior, and that may be something that they work on for next year, something she realizes that she has to do.
First foul on Payne. Loyola inbounding. And Kristen Santa, long two.
I really like Santa. Whenever she gets the basketball, she has her feet ready to shoot. She squares up to the basket and has the open look, and more times than not, she'll drain it.
That's the first non-Grzdanovic basket for Loyola in the second half. Santa 16 for the game. Marshall trying to work inside, and this time Courtney Walton draws the foul. It will go on Fletcher, and for Elizabeth, that'll be her third. Payne comes in. Ray goes out for Marshall. Exactly 2 minutes to go here, third quarter. Sabrina Minter right in front of us. Fires it up again.
Loyola is being very smart with Minter. They're letting her penetrate a little bit. If they go by her, they don't try and block her shot. They just keep their arms up, make her adjust the shot, and she's right now not on fire like she was at the beginning of the game.
Fletcher flashes high. Sobieschek looked at the three. Laura will take it, but again, you can see that she wants to quarterback this team. Santa all the way through. She doesn't jingle, but she goes all the way. Kristen Santa for 18, and she draws the foul. Latrice Payne gets her second personal foul.
Again, nobody for Marshall helping out. Minter was the help there, and she had her back turned and was walking to see where her player was going. So Santa took advantage of that opening there in the zone.
Santa's first trip to the line is a good one. She's got 19. The lead has grown to 9. Yvonne, we were talking earlier in the break as to whether Loyola was setting the pace or Marshall was happy with it. I think at this point there's really no issue. Marshall.
Well, some of the Illinois State coaches are sitting behind us, and I asked them what they thought. If they thought Loyola, who had the pace of the game, and they said definitely Loyola. They're doing a good job in defensive transition and really stopping Marshall from pushing the ball up the floor and making them run their offense.
Marshall showed is perfectly capable of running a half-court offense as Elizabeth Fletcher commits her fourth foul. But now they have just gone cold. And Minter's just firing them from everywhere, and this time she connects. 15 points for Sabrina Minter. And that breaks another drought for Marshall. 51-44, 7-point lead. Loyola as Sobieschek teeing it up. Minter only got 2 players to beat. And picks up the blocking foul. Sabrina Minter gets Parker to commit her second foul. Her second personal foul, 4th foul on Loyola. At the line for Marshall. Once again, Aaron Monroe comes in for Fletcher. Fletcher with 4 fouls. Playing on that ankle she twisted against Maine West.
And if Loyola wins this ball game, they're definitely going to need her in the next game tonight. So she has 4 fouls, but you might want to put that ice on that ankle and hope that you can pull it out without her.
Tanya Johnson said that, as you look at Tanya, that her ankle was okay. It was just getting back into playing shape after missing about a week of practice in the one super sectional game. 2 free throws, 17 points for Minter, and the turnover.
But I've been watching Fletcher a little bit. To me, it looks like she's still a little
favoring
bit.
It.
Yeah, favoring it a little bit, and it's hard. It's fine to run up and down the court, but when you start cutting, and you're a post player and you have to use your legs to really set yourself up in the post, it's really hard, and if it's not 100%, you just got to play in the pain.
Marshall inching back. They were down 9. The lead is now 5. Final 30 seconds here of quarter number 3, and Sabrina Minter is going to run that offense with Payne up high. Now she flashes down, and there's Minter going the back way. Weak side. The rebound doesn't get there, and last touch by whom? By Loyola.
And you like that Minter is making that adjustment. She's realizing that once she gets the basketball, Loyola is dropping way back, anticipating her penetration, and now she's taking the jump shot.
Sabrina over Santa. And Kristen with the rebound. 10 seconds to go here. You see the clock. Loyola with the 5-point lead. Santa doesn't get this one, and that will be the end of the third quarter. So we've got 8 more minutes to play here to see the final matchup for the finals tonight. Dorothy Gators and her Marshall Commandos have to do some regrouping and go on the attack. They trail it by 5. Well, Marshall only shot 5 for 19 in the third quarter, but the Commandos are still in it. They're down 5. Let's go to Eric Collins.
Hey, Mike, you probably noticed it. You may have to be asking yourself why, but the Loyola Ramblers, they're all wearing knee pads. Now, everyone does that all along the bench, on their freshman team, on the JV team, everywhere. You're not allowed to play for Coach Tanya Johnson unless you're willing to go on the floor, and you need knee pads for that. So in case you're wondering, now you know. Mike,
good point. Okay. Loyola running its half-court offense. This is Santa. We get a whistle off the ball, and they're going to call Latrice Payne for bouncing Olga Grzdanovic. Payne's third foul. Grzdanovic, who, as you look at her third quarter statistics, 11 points as they just pounded the ball in relentlessly against the Commandos. Here is Sobieschek, very quiet but very efficient. Hawkert back to Laura. Marshall staying in the zone as the entry pass is deflected. Down goes Grzdanovic. Up comes Minter. And once again Murray. Ball on the floor, and a travel called against Marshall.
It's a good defensive stop by Monroe. They got it out to Murray, and then Marshall's doing a nice job, although they got the violation there, but of going to get the offensive rebound there. 2 players from Marshall had possession. And Payne being very physical and very aggressive with Olga.
Santa misses Grzdanovic underneath.
And because Payne was playing in front of her when the shot was taken, Olga turned around and boxed her out, and that's why she was able to get the offensive glass.
And Minter going through and draws the foul. Sabrina Minter has been the offense along with Kimia Murray. 17 for Minter, 12 for Murray, and Sobieschek commits her second foul.
Take a look at the play here. Payne's in front of, and you can't see it now, Payne was in front of Olga. She just turns around and blocks it back out. Olga now has the position to go up and get the putback.
Well, Payne 5'8", Grzdanovic 6'1". As Courtney Walton, who's been very quiet here in the second half, draws the foul on the drive. And it's on. It is on Grzdanovic. Olga's first.
At times when you're young and Walton is a sophomore and you're having a bad game, you have to find other ways to pick up your game a little bit and get yourself back into it mentally, and that comes with maturity. As a sophomore, sometimes you let a bad game get you down a little bit, and it takes you out of the entire game, and you got to find those little things, do little things to get yourself back in, rebounding maybe if the shot's not on, making that assist.
Splits the free throws. Santa. No call there. Good defense by Minter. Back comes Walton leading the break.
Good control with her body, stops and doesn't get the offensive charge.
10 for Courtney Walton. And we're now a 4-point game. 6.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Winner goes to the state finals. Here's Minter with a clean pick. Santa to follow. And Santa risked a three-point play right there as down goes Minter. If you're going to foul her, Santa gave her just a little push, but didn't really stop her from completing the basket.
Minter does a nice job at picking the ball, but there's one player against her in the basket. You can forget it. There's no contest. She's going to take it all the way, and she doesn't get the basket, but she gets on the foul line.
Meanwhile, there's timeout on the floor. It's 49. Marshall trails by 4. We'll be back. Huddle as Tanya Johnson talks to her team after Marshall has gone on a 9-4 run here to cut the lead to 4 for the Ramblers. 53-49, 6 minutes 20 seconds to go here in the semifinals of the Class AA Illinois High School State Championships.
2 shots, ladies. 2 here.
Marshall in the golden one. Sabrina Minter with a chance to bring them closer. Can't do it on the first free throw. Teams' uniforms literally are the mirror image of each other. Both schools' colors the same. Minter splits them. She's got 18, and here comes the pressure from Marshall. And Sobieschek throws it away. We remind you, the Chicago Tribune, the official newspaper of the IHSA State Championships. So pick up the Chicago Tribune for complete coverage of Illinois high school sports. There's the run we were telling you about, just about 4 minutes, and Marshall's on a 10-4 spree. Courtney Walton from 3. Santa the rebound. Well, you feel Marshall turning up the pressure. Krasdanovich. There's something she hadn't shown us. 28 for Olga. Fake left, fake right, and turned and won again. Back it goes to Minter. Sabrina fires it up.
Just like that, she can turn it on.
20 points for Minter.
It's almost like we discussed, as you take a look at Olga again going into their bread and butter, you try to contain Minter and stop everybody else and hope that you can win the game.
Sorry, Yvonne. 8 for 10 this half for Krasdanovich, and here's Olga with the rebound. 5 minutes exactly. 5-point lead for Loyola. Santa fires it up. Rebound Walton. Sabrina Minter. Sobieschek doesn't challenge. And Minter with 22.
Good look inside.
Once again, and they convert.
A nice look inside. Olga uses one bounce to get her in a better angle to the basket. She's a very smart player inside on the block. Moves her body really well, tries to set up the steal here. She releases a little bit because there was too much defensive pressure on her, leaning on her, so releases, throws the ball to her, and uses one bounce step to get a little closer, to take another look at it. Here we're seeing Payne trying to keep the pressure on her. She goes, tries to get in front of her. Olga releases a little bit, uses the one bounce with the drop step.
Olga Krasdanovich, 8 rebounds, 9 for 11 from the field this half. She has got 32 points. And her team is up 5. She'll be going to the line. While we have a moment, as Dorothy Gators talks to her Marshall squad, we'll tell you the broadcast rights to this afternoon's game have been granted to Sports Channel and Intersport by the Illinois High School Association. Any rebroadcast, reproduction of this event without the express written consent of Sports Channel, Intersport, and the IHSA is prohibited. And we certainly want to thank all our friends at the IHSA, David Fry, Jim Flynn, Don Robinson, Marty Hickman, who are down here, and the rest of the staff. This has been an excellent semifinal series. Watching the quarterfinals last night, Yvonne, all 4 games really were blowouts. And you wonder what you were going to get when you get to the semis, but
everyone was telling us it was going to be a good semifinal, great for television, and it certainly has been. You've seen different styles, and these two teams are both teams that are up-tempo and can run, but I like the adjustment that Loyola has made for this ball game.
And Marshall has been content to follow that style pretty much as well, and they are very much in it. Down by 5, but Krzdanovic will go to the line. And look at those numbers. Talk about a career game. And remember, this kid's a sophomore.
Again, we're talking about those AAU programs, very effective for teams that are getting a lot more experience or coming in as freshmen and are able to be impacts immediately in programs.
We're also talking about a lot of talent. She comes out for a rest. Elizabeth Fletcher with 4 fouls comes back in. And the lead is 6. Sabrina Minter working for Marshall. The winner gets Taylorville tonight. We'll have that for you live, 8:30 right here on Sports Channel. Hope you'll be tuned in. And they feed Courtney Walton, but Walton can't come through. Minter in the lane.
And now that Olga's out of the ball game, she's been blocking and making Marshall adjust the shots on the inside for the post players. Marshall goes into Walton, who was in the post.
Loyola has little problem with the press. Krzdanovic right back at the scorer's table to report in next whistle.
Just need a little blow.
Now Santa. They run that motion with Fletcher up high.
Stalling with the basketball a little bit, waiting for the high percentage shot.
And this is where Yvonne Simmons wants that shot clock, doesn't it?
I know it's too expensive for high school programs, but it kills me.
Now they're running the delay, and we get a whistle off the ball. It'll go against Marshall. Let's see what the call will be.
Parker was trying to cut across the basket or to get the basketball.
For Sabrina Minter, her 3rd personal foul. There's Dorothy Gators looking for her 7th state championship. She is 4 points down right now. There's Tanya Johnson looking for her first. 3:16 to go. There's the story. Back at Redbird Arena, some of the fans coming down from Wilmette. Obviously, the Jeanette Falkert fan club. She's got a lot of fans there. They know how valuable she is. So here we are. Shade over 3 minutes to go. Still anybody's ball game. It is a 4-point lead for Loyola. To recap, Marshall broke out to a 9-0 lead on the speed and shooting of Sabrina Minter. Loyola came right back to close out the first quarter with a 10-2 run. We were tied at 22 at the end of the first quarter. Loyola had the lead at half by 2. Third quarter by 5, and there is the story for Loyola. Olga Krzdanovic, the 6'1" sophomore, right now 33 points, and has been the key factor for her team. But if you notice the way this offense runs, it is a team effort to get that ball to Olga. So the ball moves, it goes down into the low post, and Olga's put it through.
And that has been a season high for Olga.
Santa missing the front end of a 1-and-1, a rare miss for either team on the free throw line. But Marshall last to touch. So the Ramblers get a break. Christina Evans coming back in. Next opportunity.
Now Marshall really active in their pressure on the ball. They're trying to double team and trap.
And Santa is hit by Burris. So Kristen will go right back to the line again, where she shoots 70%. Burris, meanwhile, will be charged with her first personal foul.
And a lot of times when you have a team that's killing you on the inside, the guards need to pick it up on the perimeter play defensively, because you're giving the perimeter players a good look on the inside to get it in there. So if you bother them and keep at them, they're not going to be able to see as well to get it into the post.
Kristen Santa now with 20 points. Tanya Johnson exhaling.
was going to make a joke, but you know what? I'm keeping it to myself.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Release one.
Get another free throw for Santa because lane violation. And she makes it count. So 21 for Kristen. The lead is 6, coming up to the 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Walton, a nice spin move, but just a little too much spin. Down go Evans and Grzdanovich, and possession arrow to Marshall. Well, you know, Taylorville, with that wild pace of the first game, can use the extra time to rest. But you wonder how much they'll have left. Here is Walton from 3. Good rebound underneath. As Kimya Murray made a nice move, drew the foul. Parker the foul.
Again, Marshall has those pivot moves and spin moves and scoops to get to the basket to get their shots off, and a lot of times get on the free throw line. One player you want to look at is Christina Evans, who's done a nice job in the last few games. She's a senior. She said she's going to put her life on the line right here because she wants to get back to the tournament. Because you see her jumping up and down, emotional about the missing of the shot. She knows it's important, but somebody that they might want to look to in the last few minutes of this game because she's going to put it all out there.
12 points now, 13 for Kimya Murray. Marshall really moving around on the defense. Loyola being very patient here. Almost stolen, and now it is stolen by Marshall. Murray against Santa. What a play by Kimya Murray, but it's waved off. Offensive foul. Oh, they called traveling. It looks like Ayers the official. We'll see what the call here is. There's a good steal.
Take a look at what the call is.
Well, no foul. I guess they called a walk.
I guess she took a few extra steps.
It's not the NBA, folks. You only get 1.5. And here's a whistle against the Commandos. Looks like Sabrina Minter. And that's 4 on Sabrina.
Marshall looking down right now. They have got a lot of time left. There's 2 minutes. So, you know, they should stay with it, stay focused. The way they play a quick up-tempo game that they can get into in the running of the fast break, they could run off a lot of points, so don't get your head down yet.
Santa has missed 2 of her last 4 free throws, now 3 of her last 5. You said normally a decent free throw shooter.
Yep.
Late in the games when you got to make them.
Loyola just can't seem to put Marshall away.
22 for Kristen. The lead, 6. Time left, and even 2 minutes. Minter. Rebound, Sobieschek.
This is the leadership that Marshall was talking about that they are missing there. Minter is supposed to be the leader, but I think she has to make a little better decisions in setting up the offense, not just going and trying to take it herself 1-on-5.
And again, Loyola has Tanya Johnson standing there, arms folded. They run the offense, patience, 1.5 minutes. For the Ramblers, 1.5 minutes to the finals, and Minter is gone. Fifth foul on Sabrina Minter. The Loyola crowd reacts, and she will have to sit down with a team-high 24 points.
Hey, it's hard to take when you've done everything that you can to keep your ball club in the game. And to fall out, you don't even have the last 1:30 to try everything you can to get that last gasp. But she has to sit down, and she's really a junior and the leader of the team, the person they want to look to.
She'll be back. Not this year, but next year. And Santa now with 23. And another rainbow for 24 for Kristen Santa, and the lead begins to stretch. It is now 8. Marshall's got to move. Coming through and firing good, Shakia Sims. So still now a 2-possession game. Kristen Santa comes right back, and the Ramblers pull the ball out. Coming up to the final minute. And the foul. Latrice Ray, her second. And that'll send Jeanette Parker to the line. Meanwhile, Dorothy Gators wants a timeout. 1 minute and 1 second to go. And leading by 6 are the Ramblers. (65-59). There's the story. 1 minute 1 to go here in the 4th quarter for the state championship finals. Loyola seems to have it in hand, and there is our Wendy's player of the game, Olga Grzdanovic. 33 points, 8 rebounds. Again, though, you really have to credit the entire team on Loyola. Olga did her job, no question, but when they pounded the ball inside, she was there to convert.
It was definitely a team effort by Loyola. They stayed with their game plan by making it a half-court game for Marshall, running the offense, really executing it, getting it down into Olga, and she didn't get it in. She kicked it back out, letting the outside shooters do the job. So it's a nice team effort, nice team win by Loyola.
Well, they've got 61 seconds to complete it. And here is Jeanette Parker, again, one of the unsung heroes for this team. Jeanette, the junior, with 6 points all in the first half, will get 2. One thing about the Ramblers, they don't shoot those straight trajectory free throws, boy. They like to get a nice curve.
They have some form to it.
Got form, they got
relief,
got a lot of
rotation.
Height. Yeah. Splits them, but again, that gives them the 7-point lead. Marshall's got to hurry here. They don't have Sabrina Minter. Remember, she fouled out. Courtney missing. Big booming inside as down went Erin Monroe, and we got a whistle over here.
And Dorothy Gators wants her Marshall team to penetrate. And that's her game plan, to try and get back on the free throw line to make some points up at when the shot, or when the clock is not running.
Courtney Walton picked up her 4th foul now, as Marshall's going to send Loyola to the line, and once again Parker is back. 4-2. Well, Tanya Johnson played at Ferris State. She played for the old Chicago Hustle, if you all remember that. Fun team, the women's team back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Doug Bruno was the coach.
Doug Bruno, now at DePaul, of course, was the coach.
Well, I think the one thing about this Loyola team, too, they've been expected all year long to be down here. So to live with those expectations, they're the only team in Illinois to be ranked nationally. It's a lot of expectations. The young ball club counting on young players on the inside.
Well, the interesting thing, too, is, you know, how arbitrary these rankings can be. They're ranked, what, 16th in the country, and they're only ranked 3rd in the state. So
that's true.
Go figure this, or 4th in the state.
She told the media people yesterday, hey, you guys are the one that does it. It's your opinion. And someone was asking her what she thought about rankings, and she's like, you guys do them, not me. It's not the coaches that are ranking the teams.
Santa now 25 and holding. Final 30 seconds. Loyola will be going to the finals. Nice move inside by Kimia Murray. Her first non-3-point bucket. She's got 15. And quickly the foul. 18 seconds to go. 68-61. The Marshall bench obviously dejected. There's Sabrina Minter, Dorothy Gators.
32, 80 Edmonds, and 31, Manuel Draper.
Meanwhile, much different expressions over on the Ramblers side. Kristen Santa will go to the line once again.
Trying to round out those numbers, Santa's, for her Drake media guide.
Makes them both this time. She's got 27. Timeout. 9-point lead with 18 seconds to go. Okay. Well, just to try to fix this, fix the action here. It'll be Loyola against Taylorville. Could it be a track meet? Loyola seems to be able to play it any way you want.
Yeah, I don't think that Loyola really will want to get into a game with Taylorville like that. I think they are going to try the same type of strategy and slow the game down, make it a half-court game, take their opportunities to run the ball, Loyola, when they can. But I don't think that they want to get in the track meet with them. It's going to be awfully hard because Taylorville really pushes a little more than Marshall does, I believe, and that's really a part of their game. But it's going to be a defensive game also.
Let's take a look at our Pepsi play of the game right now for this game, the semifinal, and who's got to be in the middle of it, of course. Olga Wezdanovich.
Again, the seal and then the release and then the drop step with the one bounce.
And the foul completed a three-point play. Wezdanovich 33 points, 20 here in the second half.
And only a sophomore, had a nice game. She had so many moves on the inside. It's a very nice player. She also has a 15-footer that she can pop. So just has a really nice complete game for a post player for a sophomore.
We were talking about how the guards seem to develop their skills certainly at a younger age than the tall people, than the big people. But you look at Olga, and she is polished. She is well run. Nothing klutzy about her. That's a technical basketball term.
Nothing klutzy. I think because they are growing them bigger these days, you aren't seeing as much of a clot as you were in the past, and they have certainly agility drills that you can do. You're learning to dribble the basketball a lot earlier. You work with the ball more than what you did before.
Sobieschek steals the ball, and just coming in was Katie Murphy, who misses. Final seconds, 3, 2, this'll do it. And that's the end of the ball game. The Loyola Ramblers will meet Taylorville tonight in the Class AA Championship. They take Marshall, the Public League champs, by a count of 70-61. Tanya Johnson, Dorothy Gators shaking hands. Two outstanding teams. But the Ramblers had the measure of the Commandos today. Wezdanovich with 33, Kristen Santa with 27. Hawkert had 8, Sobieschek had a couple of free throws. That's been about it. Really only 4 Ramblers scored, but boy did they score big. 60 points between Kristen Santa and Olga Wezdanovich.
But really, that's the inside-out game that they play so well, and they usually get a lot of people involved. This time they really relied on 2, but it was the perfect match. When you shut down the perimeter, you go to the inside.
Well, let's go to the inside of the huddle with Eric Collins and Tanya Johnson.
Thanks, Mike. We do have Tanya Johnson over here. Tanya, congratulations. It doesn't seem like your team is really that excited. Is it still bigger fish to fry?
No, I think they're just really focused, and I think that they know that there's one more game, and I think that they believe and have the confidence that they can win that game tonight. So they are just wonderful. I love them. God.
What did you say in the halftime? It seemed like you made a commitment to go inside to Olga.
Yeah, we did, and you know, we just said our 2-3 zone is working, and this is a good pace for us. We have the TV timeouts. We got 4 timeouts. We just, you know, we just have to stay composed. And I thought for the most part they just did a great job. And we got the ball inside to Olga, and that was key. And we said they don't have anybody that can stop her.
Well, we look forward to a big game tonight against Taylorville, so it'll be exciting. Congratulations, and we'll see you again this evening.
Thank you.
Mike and Yvonne, one more time back to you guys.
Thank you, Eric. Congratulations to the Loyola Ramblers. We'll take a break and be right back.
And welcome back to the Sports Channel Report studios. We just saw a great game, Loyola beating Marshall 70-61, the championship game later tonight. You've got Loyola taking the rest, Taylorville taking the rest. This should be a pretty good matchup, similar to the one of Marshall. Taylor likes to run, while Loyola likes to sit back and play that half-court game.
Oh, yeah, it's really going to be a game of Olga Wezdanovich and Allison Curtin, 2 leaders. Let's see how they're going to pull it out in the final.
Again, and 2 big studs going at it. Gwizdanovic, who had 33 points, 8 rebounds, going 13 of 8 for Loyola today. And earlier we saw a great battle as well. And this should be a pretty good matchup of 2 teams, good in fundamentals. They have great inside games as well as 2 superstars, respectively, for each team.
Sure, and Taylorville also has Alex Givens, who's also a very tough force down low. So she's going to compete pretty well with Olga Gwizdanovic. And then you've got Kristen Santa, very tough for Loyola, who's going to go against Allison Curtin. So a very even matchup tonight.
Now Santa, who is going to your school you go to right now, Drake University, she's going there next year. She had 27 points, a great sidekick today for Gwizdanovic. She was 7 for 18 from the floor. You talked about Allison Curtin earlier in game 1 in that semifinal. 34 points, going 15 of 23, 19 rebounds. She was all over the floor. So again, 2 separate superstars. Both teams rely on these players respectively in their own right, so we should see a pretty good game tonight.
Sure, and a very aggressive game. As you can see, Loyola, they wear the knee pads. Their coach makes them wear those knee pads because she wants them on the ground going after every ball. It's going to be in a very aggressive game tonight.
And again, the Taylorville comes in undefeated versus Loyola, who comes in with 2 losses. Yet again, this will be a very good game right here on Sports Channel at about 8:15 tonight. We'll have a full game of hoops. Coming up next, we've got the Mid-Con Finals, Troy State and Youngstown State. Stay with us on Sports Channel. Keep it right here.
We are just about set for the Mid-Continent Conference Championship game. Youngstown State taking on Troy State. And for Ed DeGregorio and the Lady Penguins, here's their lineup, brought to you by the First National Bank of DeKalb. This group of 5 starters has never lost a Mid-Continent Conference tournament game. They went to the NCAAs 1 year ago. And for Jerry Hester and the Trojans from Troy State, if you've seen them play at all this year, you know who their 5 starters are, because all except one time this season, this has been the starting lineup for Troy State. And it's a good one. They're one of the best teams in the country, and they show why. They can shoot the ball, they can shoot from the outside and get it going from the inside as well. Ed DeGregorio, the Dean of Coaches in the Mahoning Valley, and he has taken